Good morning, everyone. It is Monique Denton, Chief Connector, founder of Embrace Your Cake LLC and Sisters Inspire Sisters Network. Look, good morning, good morning, good morning. If you are on the Eastern Zone, it's about 9:15, 9:20. You're in Central Time, it's about 8:15, 8:20. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. Look, I am so excited. We are about 3 days away from the Boss Tour in Chicago. And if you can hear my song in the background, let me just turn it up a little bit. You know, I got up this morning and I just felt like I was in the spirit and the mood for overflow. And I know on Saturday that's what's going to happen. You are going to get in the spirit and the mood for overflow. So you need to be in the room, right? You need to be in the room to prepare yourself. It is your time. You know, I know it's my time, but it's your time and it's your season for overflow. So look, I was jamming this morning to all types of songs, okay, getting myself prepared because I am excited for this weekend. I want to thank everyone for joining us. I want to introduce another one of our phenomenal speakers, Miss LaTonya Baker. And listen, for those that are just tuning in, again, this is Monique, Embrace Your Cake, the Sis Network, the Boys Tour coming to Chicago this Saturday. And I have today another one of our dynamic speakers that's going to be at the Boys Tour on Saturday. Miss LaTonya. Miss LaTonya, could you please just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what you'll be speaking about on Saturday?
I sure can. First of all, let me say that song is one of my favorite wake up songs. Like, I'm telling you, I get in the car and I blast it. So thank you for even sharing that.
Thank you. All morning it's been on repeat. It's one of those types, and I needed something to get me going this morning.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely with you on that. And then second of all, thank you for even having me. It's definitely a pleasure. Anytime that I hear us as brown women getting together, doing something positive, not just for each other, but to impact others, I'm all for it. So thank you so much for the opportunity. So like she said, my name is LaTonya Baker, and I am the CEO and founder of Generation of Excellence Trendsetters. And we are a community-based organization in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm also an empowerment speaker. I set out to become an empowerment speaker less than a year ago, and God blessed me to do my first speaking engagement in the Bahamas. So it was an amazing networking opportunity. I met some wonderful people that I connected to. We still stayed connected. I was able to tell my story, be relatable, be transparent, and change lives. And I've been on the go ever since. So just to even be blessed with the voice to even speak, to me, I'll never take it for granted. So I'm an empowerment speaker. I'm also a travel agent. And then I'm also an owner of now 6 transitional and reentry homes where we actually provide housing to women and children who unfortunately become homeless. And we also provide housing for women who actually come out of prison and have nowhere to go.
Wait a minute. Stop. Did you say 6 transitional homes?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. 6 transitional homes. And I was going to ask you about your nonprofit organization. Mm-hmm. But that is your nonprofit.
It's a part of the nonprofit, yeah.
Wow, 6 transitional homes. Yeah. Okay, tell us a little bit more about that.
So with the transitional living home, what's crazy, you know, God works in mysterious ways. I started the home with 2 business partners. They were like, we're not making any money. We're just going to walk away. And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't really get into this for the money. You know, of course, the money is going to come, but I got into it because there was a need. I was once homeless. When I lived in Atlanta, Georgia, things kind of went south for me. So I lived out of my car for a while until a really good friend of mine gave me somewhere to stay. So I know exactly how it feels to be homeless. So to be able to go from being homeless to provide housing to hundreds of people, to me, that's a huge blessing. So we operated the establishment for about 2 years with zero to no funding. The people that even helped me, my staff, my team, they were volunteering. So it's just been a blessing to be able to provide a home, to provide meals, to provide services, and to provide long term um, assistance to women when they come into the house. Is not just a place to stay. We're impacting their lives, and we're showing them how to manage a home so that when they leave there, they don't have to come back. So we actually partner with a couple of other homeowners and ask them, hey, do you have any properties that are vacant? We're looking to extend our franchise, for the House of Purpose, which is what it's called. And we had our staff that work for us like, yes, I want to be a part of it. My landlord, who I rent one of the first house from, he had two other houses right next door to become available. And I remember the first day he rented for us, he prayed. He was like, I'm just asking that God expand your horizon, and I'm grateful that you even chose me to even rent from, to provide housing for people who are in need. So he opened two additional homes to us right next door. So now we have a huge parking lot. We have a playground for the children, and it's just been a blessing. It's been an extreme blessing, and I'm so very grateful for it.
Wow. And what you just talked about, what's interesting and that I think is good for the women that are going to be in the room is that to start this business, and this business has a purpose connected to it. What's interesting is that you reached out to other homeowners. And sometimes we think that we have to start ownership. We have to start owning everything. It
Mhm.
has to be ours, has to be on it. And we always come up with excuses on why we can't start. Well, I don't have enough. I don't own anything. And then you talked about the first 2 years, right? No funding for 2 years. And you continue. So tell us just, how did you do that? Like, what does it take to say, okay, I have no funding for 2 years. I'm starting these transitional homes for women,
Mhm.
but I'm going to keep going. Don't give us too much, all right? Save some of it for Saturday. But
Yeah.
just tell us a little bit about how were you able to do that?
Faith, faith and trust in the process. There was a time in my life, my mother used to say, put it in God's hand, and he'll take care of it. I didn't know what that meant. I would pray about something, but I would worry, and that doesn't go hand to hand. It's almost like walking on a curve with one foot in the street and one foot on the curb, and you're not balanced. So I had to really balance my faith and really trust the process. So I set out to do it, and things just started happening. I built an amazing team. I'm a firm believer. I prayed. I said, God, if you bless me with enough to bless others, I got your people, and that's exactly what he did. Everybody that I've rubbed elbows with, everybody that has been supportive and faithful to me, I've made sure that I've returned the favor. So again, my staff just volunteering, my children, being a part of this.
Okay, so
I'm sorry, I watch people open up businesses and have their children be a part of their business, and their children not even like being a part of my business. My children love working for me. They love being a part of it. And I set them down. I asked them, what do you want to do? What is it that you inspired to do? And I made sure I created an environment that they wanted to be a part of. So my faith, trust in the process, and building an amazing team. An amazing team. There's this stigma that being a boss means talking to people like they're beneath you. I don't believe in that. I believe in whoever's going to be a part of your team, you treat them accordingly, because they're going to treat your customers and they're going to treat your product exactly how you treat them. So I believe in loving on people. I believe in building up people. I believe in supporting people, and I believe in creating winners, trendsetters. That's exactly what we are, trendsetters.
but I love it. And see, this is why I get so excited, right? Because you touched on teamwork, you touched on community, you touched on collaboration. And I'm very clear in this season that in order for us to win, and part of why we have the Sisters Inspire Sisters Network is that we have to connect, we
Hmm.
have to collaborate. There has to be a team. In order to move forward, we're not going to be able to do this alone. We have to really be able to link arms and say, okay, this is what we're going to do to move forward and
Exactly.
really have impact and change. So
Exactly.
if I was to ask you, listen, everyone, and I know, see, I have a lot of one-on-one conversations, so there is more to this story, okay, that LaTonya's not sharing yet. More to even while LaTonya started speaking, and that's information that I know LaTonya is going to share with us on Saturday. It is going to be a blessing to you if you listen and you understand and you learn about some of your, and I'm talking about family history now, right? And some of the things that have happened and how you were able to shift. Like you made a shift in the trajectory of the amount, I'm going to say the amount of time that women in your family live.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's just that serious.
Yeah.
So there is information that you need. You need to be in the room. And I'm talking to the audience on Saturday, October 29th, the Boss Tour. We have a dynamic lineup of women. It is going to be empowerment. It's going to be inspiration, but it's going to be strategies.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be core resources and information to help you move your business, whether it's a for-profit or a nonprofit, to the next level. So, LaTonya, why do you think women should be in the room on Saturday?
Well, first of all, you're gonna be there, and you know, when I sought out and saw who you were, I felt the connection and the positivity just through your social media, and even with our similar stories as to why we do what we do, you know, in losing our mother and pushing forward.
Yeah,
I've really mastered how to turn my pain into my passion. And I think a lot of us, especially women, you know, we're emotional creatures. We tend to take what people do to us and we simmer in it. And the longer you simmer in something, the more hurtful it becomes and the more power and strength it pulls from you. And I've learned to do the opposite. And I think that it's essential that we share that. We get these gifts, and when we keep them, they don't elevate. But when we share them, they multiply. So it's time that we continue to, one, change the narrative on how we as brown and black women work with each other. We have to change that ugly stigma that we can't work together. It's really, really, really time. This whole year, I've been focusing on changing the narrative, and I'm continuing to run into people like your women like yourself. That's like, let's get this. We say network, and someone else takes it as, oh, you want to steal my light. No, this is networking, and it's
yeah,
time for us to change that ugly stigma that I'm not here to steal your light. We can be a whole movement and a force together. So
yeah,
I'm encouraging you to come out. If you have not purchased your ticket, come out and purchase your ticket. I know a lot of people go out there and they promote empowerment and they promote this and they promote that because it sounds good. No, we're actually living it. We're actually living it. I decided to share my story despite someone telling me, oh, you talk with a lisp, you're never going to be able to speak in front of anybody. Oh, you know, your weight, people don't accept people who are overweight to wear certain things or be on the front line or this and that. But God blessed me with a platform that I'm so willing to share with anybody else, despite what the naysayers say, despite what the devil said. I learned to, whatever the devil tells me I'm not, I tell him I am. Wherever he tells me I am, I tell him I'm not. I learned to just speak against the enemy and just manifest anything that I want. And I can guarantee you, almost everything that I have manifested has come to light. And I'm so glad that God has given me what I need and not what I want. And I'm glad that He gave me what He needed me to have at the time He needed me to have it, not at the time I prayed about it. And I'm learning to be faithful. I'm learning to be patient. And again, just trusting the process. So if you want to hear more about my story, about my pain that I turned into my passion, my trauma that I turned into my triumph, come on out.
wow. So there's nothing else for me to say. I just want to say we have Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. I see a comment, 10 snaps for Mrs. Tanya with the hand claps. Listen, thank you so much. That was just, you know, with everything that you said, was a blessing to me. And then
My
talking
pleasure.
about your flaws, right? So you talk about your flaws, and what a lot of women don't realize is that those flaws, those things that we feel self-conscious about, that's our secret sauce.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that we have uniquely, okay? And that's what makes us who we are. So it's time to, I call it being flawbulous. Like,
Oh, yeah, like
I
that.
know I'm full of them, right? And I call it being flawbulous. It is time to embrace those flaws. Listen, ladies, we want to see you on Saturday, the Chicago Boss Tour. We have the link at the bottom of the screen. You can still use the promo code BOSS, BOSS, and get $20 off your ticket price. We are going to have some dynamic, powerful speakers. You need to be in the room. You know, there's a comment to be in it. To win it, you have to be in it, right? To get this information, to connect, to collaborate with some sincere, transparent, like-minded boss women that want to see us all win and win together. Meet us on Saturday at the Boss Tour Chicago. Miss LaTonya, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cannot wait to meet you in person on Saturday. Ladies, thank you for joining us this morning. Look, hit share, hit like, invite some of your sisters, and we'll see you Saturday at the Boss Tour. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.